Alrighty. Hey there, true believers. Welcome to episode 29 of the Cross Media Show here on the Penultimate Conquest. Today's topic is, of course, our discussion of the entirety of WandaVision as part of our Marvel Mondays initiative. So, folks, strap in because we've got quite a show for you today. If you're watching on YouTube, consider dropping a like and a sub. And don't forget to hit the bell to get notifications for all of our shows here, like shows just like this one, our cross media show for all anime videos, as well as our anime-centric show, Anime Nation. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Christian, just one of your friendly neighborhood co-hosts. And as always, our trusted director, the boss man himself, that guy Tuesday, my other half, and your other co-host, Ruben Guerrero. What is up, my man?
Christian, how you doing today?
Hey, it's a great day. It's Monday. We're talking Wanda. Liverpool won today. Beware the Ides of March and all that.
What's even better is we are 3 days away from the Snyder Cut.
Snyder Cut. Oh.
And man, oh man, I can't wait.
4 hours.
I know, right? It's
good.
getting some decent reviews today, right?
Yeah, pretty good reviews. Everybody's been
There's
saying...
only one review about the Snyder Cut that I care about.
And what's that?
That is Greg Miller.
Yeah,
for sure. The only place I care about for the Snyder Cut.
Yeah. And
he's watching it tonight.
Yeah, he's watching it tonight, and I believe he said he was going to talk about it tomorrow.
So, yeah, I can't wait.
It's going to be very exciting.
But that is DC stuff. Today we're talking Marvel.
That's right.
So let's move on to Wanda. That voice you're hearing, by the way, is none other than host of Disney Plus Us. You can find him on twitch.tv/GriffyDpad. This is Griffin Thenell.
Hi.
Hey, Griffin.
I am amped up on coffee after getting absolutely no sleep for the last 5 days. But we're talking about Marvel, so how couldn't I be stoked?
It always makes me happy to talk about Marvel. I hope you guys are just as excited for the show today as I am.
Oh, I'm very excited.
Yes, very, very.
So let me give you just a little bit of info on WandaVision as a whole, and then we'll move into more of a discussion of the entire series. Of course, WandaVision 2021, directed by Matt Shakman, which is interesting because he did every single episode, which is something you don't normally see in TV. Yeah, for sure. And it was a total of 350 minutes, which is the longest Marvel. I guess if you want to take it all together, it's the longest Marvel installation of the MCU by far. I think it's like an hour and a half longer than Endgame. And Endgame was quite long.
Oh yeah.
So from here, I just want to give just maybe like a minute or two. Let's go around the table and just give just some quick fire thoughts about what you thought of WandaVision as a whole. Did you like it? Things you didn't like? Just talk to me.
All right. Griffin, you go first.
Putting me on the spot.
Okay.
I love WandaVision. I'm frantically over here Googling to try to find the director of photography's name, but I'm not finding it. Maybe I'll find it later.
Listen, if you want me to go, I can go ahead. Because I got some stuff to say.
All I'm going to say is that dude is
phenomenal.
Deserves so much credit for this amazing show, from the early 50 shots to the 80 shots to the cinematography in that final episode in the much more MCU action style. Everything about the show is so cohesive and so good, and tells a story that just is unlike anything else in the MCU, and I want more of that. It's so good, and I'm sure I'll yell. I could yell for hours upon hours, but I don't want to take up your guys' entire podcast.
Well,
this is why you're here, buddy.
Exactly. This is what we brought you on for, so feel free to keep going.
I could literally monologue about this show. I love it so much.
Okay, so I'm gonna assume you liked it, Griffin.
Yeah.
Yes, very, very much.
That sounds like you did.
He brings up an interesting point though, that like for sure, I think I took this show for granted. Like he's right. This is an extremely unique like premise for a show that, especially like for a Marvel project or a superhero project that you don't see often in like any kind of medium.
Yeah.
Ruben, what are your thoughts?
I think they had their hearts set out to do this crazy, weird show, and they nailed it on all accounts. This show is so good. It gets me so excited to see where Wanda's future lies ahead in the MCU. I'm excited. I'm hoping that they give her own movie because
Deservedly so, yeah.
after this, she deserves it. Like, oh my God, such great acting from pretty much everybody all across the board, but especially Elizabeth Olsen just knows how to nail going through grief.
Yeah, I was watching your guys' discussion on episode 9, like the final episode, and dude, her performances like at the end of that episode when she's saying goodbye to not just her kids but to Paul Bettany, to Vision as well, like it got me. I was getting choked up just on my couch back there.
Yeah, same here. It's just, and again, Christian, correct me if I'm wrong here, but today's was Oscar nomination day, right?
It was indeed.
Did we get
you won't see a show there?
Did we?
No.
Listen, this is upsetting. Kathryn Hahn, phenomenal. Please, let's get it.
Oh yeah.
Let's get more Kathryn Hahn in the MCU. I know that's probably not going to be possible after the way that story ended. Well, her story ended, but I'm hoping we see her sooner rather than later, just because. Chef's kiss, you know.
I mean, I think there's a really good chance we see her in Doctor Strange.
That's what I was thinking, but I wanted to save, future MCU theories for later.
For later? Okay.
Yeah.
I will hold back.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
There's so many.
I got a couple of my own.
I'm glad you brought up Kathryn Hahn because this leads me to one of my questions that I was thinking about. Where does it's not WandaVision. Where does Agatha rank among your like list of villains of the MCU?
That's interesting. That's a really good question.
I know
pretty high.
I would
Really?
also say pretty high, yeah.
I also think that, and this, I don't know if this would be considered a hot take, but most of the MCU villains are garbage.
Yeah.
Like,
Come on, man.
most of
why
them
you
suck.
Yeah. No, I have to agree with this.
why are you disrespecting Michael B. Jordan like this?
No, Michael
I
B.
said
Jordan
most.
is
I did not say all.
Okay, good. Okay.
is one
I
of
can
the
think of three good
standouts.
ones.
Yeah.
I think Michael B. Jordan is a good one. I think Zemo was a good one. I think Loki is a good one.
Just skip
And I'll give a
Thanos,
shout out to Hela just because I love her so goddamn much.
Absolutely.
But for the most part, like Marvel does have a pretty big villain problem. I mean, like for a while they just killed off their villains because, frankly, you don't want to see these characters again.
Who's the villain in Doctor Strange? Sorry to cut you off, Griffin. That's not
Mordo.
The first one?
Yeah, Mordo. Definitely way better than Mordo.
Dormammu?
No, not
Oh no,
Dormammu.
not Mordo. Mordo is his friend who becomes a villain at the end of the movie.
Yeah, but I'm saying
The other guy.
you can set that up to whatever, and I feel like Kathryn Hahn already kicked his ass in terms of like best villain.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't really see her as a villain. Like, if I'm being honest, like she's out for herself. She wants this power, and like, yeah, she goes villain at the end. But at the most part, she's just the only thing separating her and Wanda is that she's significantly more selfish than Wanda.
Yeah.
Like, Wanda is the villain of this series.
Yes, I am so happy you said this. Yes, 1,000%. Yeah.
And like, villain should be in quotes because, frankly, there's multiple people that suck in this series.
Oh yeah.
Like, they're great performances, but as people, they suck. Like, Wanda's not doing good things here. Kathryn Hahn not doing great things here. What's his name that is in charge of Sword, who's just a dick?
Yeah.
Agent something.
Not like
yeah.
him.
I didn't like him very much either. I didn't care very much for all those subplots there. Ooh, my man's got the Dutch bros.
I was hoping his storyline led us to something else instead of him just being a dick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it led to something. It led to him trying to shoot kids.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I was hoping that there was more to the story. Like, oh, somebody's pulling his strings. Like, he has to do this to save his family or something like that. But
well,
just led to.
I guess we can give him some credit because he was in charge of bringing Vision back. So we have Paul Bettany again.
We do have Paul.
Okay,
again.
all right, I'll allow that.
By the way, I just want to say quick, I found the name of the guy I was looking for, Jess Hall. Jess Hall was the director of the cinematographer for this the director of photography. Interestingly enough, he was also the director of photography photography for Ghost in the Shell.
The Scarlett
Live action
Johansson
The
movie?
Scarlett Johansson one.
Oh,
Oh.
boy. Okay. Well, we brought him to the MCU. He did pretty good.
He did pretty good here, yeah.
But Christian, what did you think of the series?
Oh, I am glad you asked, my boy, because I was talking to good friend Jackson Wells about this yesterday a little bit, and then I sat there and kind of gave it some more thought, and I actually ended up writing a little bit of a paragraph, so I might quote here and there from it.
Okay.
I liked it. No, I really enjoyed it. For me, it's hard to compare to other MCU projects just because of the format of the show. I think it's much different than like a movie installation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. For me, one of my points here is because I think the show was released episodically rather than like all in one go. There was a lot of mystique happening in between episodes on a week to week basis, and that to me was like part of what made this show so successful for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys agree with that or not.
Yes, I would have to agree with that.
Absolutely.
I feel like if they just put it all on one shot, I would have binged it and I would have been disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think for me, part of what I love about Marvel in general, and honestly, this can come out to just geek culture entirely, is I enjoy talking about it with people significantly more than I do watching it. And
I think you might be
it
right.
being a weekly show gave us that chance to like really obsess over this damn show.
Yeah. Which is great though. I know there's most people would say like it's not great because of all the theories and people got let down, but I say that's just not true at all. I liked having that conversation on a weekly basis with Christian and Eric and all the guests. Just to see like what Marvel. I had said something in the Facebook group, kind of funny Facebook group a while ago. They were talking about how I forgot what it was. Oh, that how MCU treats their characters and makes people care about lesser known heroes. And I had said like something along the lines of, yeah, I before when I first saw Age of Ultron, I didn't really care for Wanda. Like Wanda and Pietro, like they were cool, but like I didn't really have ties to them. Now Wanda's my favorite character in the MCU.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. And
Welcome.
I'm excited to see where she goes from there. And I'm excited to see what happens when she finds White Vision. I'm sorry, but that's just what we're calling him, right? Am I wrong?
I've been calling him Ghost Vision.
We can call him that.
That's a cool name.
Ghost Vision.
It was I've always just feel weird saying White Vision.
Yeah. Well, that's why I apologized.
Like he's in the comics because that's like a comic accurate thing.
Yeah,
That's the story they do. He's just called Vision in that. There's no precedent for what to call this thing.
I've heard other people on Twitter say Negative Vision, which I kind of enjoyed.
Okay.
Ooh, that's cool.
I like that as well. I'll take that.
Take that.
Negative Vision. Okay. Ooh, that's really good.
Yeah, I know, right? I want to also give a quick shout out since you mentioned it a little bit, Ruben, to Megan Robinson, Mize Rubio, and Virginia Burton. They were in charge of costumes, and I think it was Megan who was in charge of Wanda's costume.
Oh, phenomenal!
Which, like when she becomes the Scarlet Witch,
phenomenal,
amazing. I love it. What do you guys think? Griffin, what do you think of the Scarlet Witch's outfit?
The costuming here is some of the best in the MCU. The only thing I can think of costuming that's better is Black Panther.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's so well done. And like, have you guys watched the making of WandaVision?
I had seen it. I don't think.
Yeah, I'm the only one that didn't get a chance to watch it.
I loved when in it they talk about like the costuming of it. And I love that it's like how much just thought and consideration they put into nailing the tones of those original sitcoms.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
All the costuming was done with that in mind with the exception of, the MCU stuff at the end of we want to be as true to those eras as we can be. So we're going to do this. We're going to have those costumes. We're going to have those freaking camera lenses. Like, they used old school camera lenses.
That was
for
awesome.
This.
Yeah.
It's one of those things of just like, it's those little touches. And they said there's like, at a point they're like, this might be self-indulgent, but we don't know how to do it any other way.
The other little touches, as you mentioned, Griffin, is something I want to bring up too that I didn't even notice until Twitter had like zoomed into Scarlet Witch's outfit. On her neck, on the neckline, is like this pattern, and it ends right here at the center with a cutout of Vision's Infinity Stone.
I didn't
and
that.
like that's like the small details in this show that like take it up another notch for me.
Yeah. I also want to give a shout out to the showrunner, Jack Schaefer. Phenomenal. Like, just making, like I said, making this series about her dealing with grief. As like grief as the big bad of this movie. I mean, of the show, it's just perfect. I wouldn't have had it any other way. Just because Wanda has gone through some shit in her life and she needed to deal with it, and I'm glad that this had her deal with this 5 stages of grief.
To that point, my only negative I think with the show really, and you guys talked about it in the last episode too, is honestly I thought like the typical Marvel third act tropes were a bit too present for me in the final episode. Like, all of the fighting just wasn't for me. Like, this show was definitely about like the way Wanda looks at grief, and which is why it's hard for me to compare this to the other movies. What I started thinking about yesterday is actually comparing it to the other Marvel shows like Daredevil, Luke Cage, and stuff, and I found that to be, for me personally, a lot better to analyze that way, because I'm able to focus more on the themes episode to episode, like that thread of grief where Wanda starts to where she ends, a lot better than if I analyze it as a movie, which is like I'm looking at the acts. I didn't like the third act, therefore like I start looking at it a bit more negatively. And that's my only gripe, I think.
I mean,
yeah, I didn't love that last episode personally. I still thought it was good TV. I thought it was good Marvel content. It's just, it's good. I think KF said this. It's a good show, and it's a good episode and a great show.
Yes.
It's just like it hits those tropes so hard, and the effects don't look nearly as good as they have the rest of the show. Like, the moment with them flying up there, it's cool, and I was hyped when we get the awesome reveal of the rooms around on the barrier. I just didn't care compared to when they're actually talking, when like we have that reveal of you're the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah,
those moments hit a lot harder for sure. And also, like Ruben mentioned this in the last episode as well, the talking with the two Visions fighting, but like logically, was like a highlight of that segment for sure.
Yeah, I had said that I much rather would have seen them fight it out with words than them fighting it out with their fists and powers, I guess. And I still stand by that. I don't think it was really necessary for them to, like, we could have just cut to the argument instead of them seeing them fight, and it would have sufficed for me.
So let me ask you a question. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I would say it was still cool seeing all this stuff, though, seeing some of the visual effects within that stuff. But like, you went to the efforts of literally like physically animating everything, physically animating in quotes, like using actual like practical effects for the first like 3-4 episodes of this show.
Yeah.
And then you go back to another style that just doesn't fit with the rest of the show. Like, it hurt. I get it. I get why you did it. That's the MCU, and that's Dan Sudek's stuff. Like, he's another person who deserves a shout out because he did all the special effects here, and he's been in special effects since Iron Man. As far as MCU, he's literally in almost every single MCU project.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Special effects and like graphics and stuff is something I just love personally. he has finally made up for that fact that he was a special effects coordinator on Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Ooh.
Which is,
oh boy.
I'm happy he's made himself up. I just wish that movie didn't exist.
Yeah.
By the way, did you guys see that this picture going on around online? I didn't know the set of WandaVision, like the town was chroma keyed. Specifically, I didn't know that. I thought it was a
I
real,
didn't know that either.
real set. Yeah.
I love watching that because everyone's like, the town was CG. I'm like, no, chroma key is different.
Yeah.
But I also don't like. It's also really hard to explain to people.
Green screen, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I just love this show, guys.
It's a really good show. It's a really good show.
Okay. Well, this leads into another question. Do you guys have a favorite episode of the series?
I would have to say my favorite episode was the Halloween episode.
How come?
One, it was mostly the quips that Pietro was giving her, like, well, I mean, I'm here to, wreak havoc. That whole line was perfect.
This is not what you wanted.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like her questioning, well, where's your accent? And he goes, well, where's yours? And it was perfect. And also, I'm a huge fan of Malcolm in the Middle.
Of course. Who isn't? That show's amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, when that intro started, I was like, oh shit, here we go. Yep. Yes.
Well, dude, when I forget it was Billy or Tommy or one of the kids, like after the theme song. I know, right? Essentially. Whatever, it doesn't matter. When he's like talking to the camera, just like Frankie Muniz, I was like, let's go. It was such a hype moment for me. What about you, Griffin?
I think my favorite episode was either Halloween episode, which was really good, or previously on the flashback episode.
Okay.
Honestly, just kind of seeing the different moments of grief for Wanda and like really fleshing in this backstory for her. Like that first moment when they're in Sokovia, and because at first I didn't realize it's like, we're gonna revisit all your moments of grief here.
Yep.
Which is traumatic to her on a whole another level versus everything she's already been to, by the way.
Yeah.
That doesn't get addressed. But when you see in Sokovia and you have that moment of, this is why you love sitcoms, and it kind of starts to delve into the idea of, entertainment is a very good way of people processing grief. It's almost something that's like super freaking real. Certain people I don't want to name names, but me actively use to process shit. It was just so cool seeing all of that.
Yeah.
How about you, Christian?
That episode for me was like almost like a carnival ride too. Like I had so much fun. Like I had no idea where we were going with that episode.
Dude, when the door changes to the sword door.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
That was so cool.
Well, for me, like that, like a great moment in that episode was like the stone itself, like presenting itself to Wanda. That was awesome for me.
I got one line from that episode.
I know.
What is grief if not love persevering?
Man,
you guys come down on that line because the internet took that and fucking ran with it.
I thought it was a very philosophical line that, of course, Vision would have said, and I didn't think much of it after that.
To me, that line is only as good as the context and conversation that leads up to that line.
Yes.
When it was ripped out and it's just that line presented on Twitter, of course, it's easy to dump on, which is exactly what happened.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
No.
Yeah, I loved that moment so much.
Yeah. It got me teary-eyed for sure.
Yeah, just seeing them like fall in love for the first time, I guess, but also like seeing Vision become the person that she relies on the most, I guess, was the part that got me.
He was there for her.
Yeah, it's really good. Oh god.
My favorite episode was episode 1. Previously on is like up there. It's a close second, but episode 1 for me is by far my favorite. I loved getting something entirely different. I had no idea what we were expecting from the show. The whole 50s aesthetic was like definitely for me. Using the live studio for most of the episode was just like made for some really great acting. I think Elizabeth Olsen said it was like some of the most challenging acting she's ever done.
Yep.
She did great. It was funny. We had Deborah Jo Rupp, I think, in that episode.
Yep.
Fantastic. And that was like such a high for me at episode 1.
Dude, it's another thing of like you got to go watch the making of, because she was so excited to be on this show and just to go back into those aesthetics. Like she had made a joke that her great nephew would refuse to talk to her if she didn't take a job within the MCU.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really cool. I thought it was really like the fact that she even like took that as a not a threat, but like, oh, this is probably something I should do was really great.
How long is the assembled?
I think it's an
episode?
hour.
Oh, it's not long.
57 minutes.
Yeah. Not long. at all.
Not too long. Okay. By
I
the way,
hope
did
we
anyone?
get more of those, like for like the other shows.
I
and
have a
whatnot.
feeling they will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering they're setting it up like it's a TV series, I hope so.
Yeah.
Was anyone else hoping that Deborah Jo Rupp's husband was going to be Red Foreman from that 70s show?
Yes,
Oh,
that
yeah,
just
very
that
made-
would have
yeah,
been perfect.
I just wanted that.
Yeah, I did too. That would have been perfect.
That would have almost been too good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
for sure.
It would have been perfect, even more perfect if if Red had said "dumbass" right after she left in the last
Oh
episode.
man, yes.
Oh man.
Get Red Foreman as a villain in the MCU. How about that? Come on, Kevin
What?
Feige.
Who villain would he be?
I have no idea. I'm just saying stuff. This is content.
Honestly, he could just be himself.
Yeah, he just shows up.
He just shows up and just starts calling people dumbasses.
he
He's
should have been
actually the
JJ.
big bad of the entire phase.
Oh my god, could you imagine if he was JJ?
That's what I'm saying. Tom Holland and Red Foreman.
That would have been really, really good.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Fighter, dumbass. I don't know. My next question here is, where do we think Wanda's stories go? And I know Ruben said pause for theories as we're like heading towards the end. I think this is a good spot for theories.
Yeah, I agree. Griffin, you want to go first?
I'm excited. Clearly, she's going after her kids.
Yeah.
Like that's obviously what they're setting up here. I did a WandaVision podcast for Disney Plus Us last week, where I talked with Kyle Stevenson, and he brought up this awesome idea to me that I'm really liking and really sticking with. That shot feels like it's at the very end of that post-credit scene. Feels like it's a scene that's going to show up in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's also what I thought.
And I agree with that. I think this is all leading to Mephisto still.
Yep.
Because like comic canon and whatnot, these kids are like physically part of Mephisto. And Mephisto's honestly too good of a villain and too connected to like almost every single hero in the MCU that it's too good not to include.
Yep.
But at the same time, it also makes sense why Mephisto wasn't in this show yet. Like, you know, one of the literal devil in Marvel canon isn't going to just pop up in a TV show. That's going to be a movie thing.
So I had said before that I was hoping at the end of the of WandaVision that she would get arrested and like get sent off to like a magical prison somewhere, and under her breath, like as they're taking her away, she would have said, "I'm sorry, I failed, Master," and then she was talking to Mephisto, which would have been great. Listen,
That would have been cool.
it would have been real cool.
I'm listening.
It would have been really cool. But yes, I also have to agree that I think this is all leading up to Mephisto. I think they had cut Wanda and Doctor Strange meeting from Endgame, which I think they're saving for obviously Doctor Strange 2. So it would be very fun to see how these two interact.
In hindsight, that was definitely a good decision because, like,
Yeah.
if she knew Doctor Strange already, there would have been so like this show would not have been able to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Ruben, hold on. You said Mephisto would be Agatha's master or Wanda's master?
No, Agatha's master.
Okay, I heard you wrong. I for some reason I heard Wanda, and I was like, wait, what? Okay, Agatha. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
I can
'Cause
write with that.
Agatha is, another one who's intrinsically tied to Mephisto, and frankly, she probably still is. That dark magic that she was like, almost executed for was probably Mephisto.
I could see that.
I still think Wanda is gonna, like you guys have mentioned, is gonna be more of an antagonist figure in Doctor Strange. Obviously, I think it's Marvel, so I don't think that'll end up being the whole film. I think towards the end we'll get like some kind of team up together. She'll, I don't know, change.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, but yeah, I still think she might start off as what we think is the antagonist, and then some kind of Mephisto reveal as we go on.
Okay, I could also see that. I've been picturing it in my mind as Wanda going berserk after she finally like finishes the whole Darkhold. That is the book that she's reading, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that is the Darkhold.
Okay, so yeah, once she finishes learning from the Darkhold, she just goes apeshit and needs to find her kids, and the only way she's going to find her kids is if she wreaks havoc, I guess. But that's the only way Mephisto's going to give it to her.
I'm interested how things are going, especially considering... So we know for sure the next time we're going to see Wanda is Doctor Strange of the Multiverse of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
What really interests me for the future of that isn't even the post-credit scene or anything to do with the Darkhold. It is actually that last commercial we had gotten for Nexus.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna go full theory here. So within the Marvel Universe, there's these things beings called Nexus beings, and they're essentially like key holders to the multiverse. You have some of them like Kang, who is someone who we know is coming in the future. A couple of them are Wanda and Vision. What's really interesting about Nexus beings, though, is there's an entire group in Marvel lore that literally their entire purpose is to keep an eye on these guys. And they're the TVA. The Time Variance Authority.
Oh.
The people we're getting to see in Loki.
Okay.
I like this.
I like this a lot.
I'm starting to think that's like, oh, these shows are going to connect this multiverse stuff together. And they're doing it in a slow enough pace that people are actually going to be able to understand it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
so cool, man.
Spider-Verse is the exception for people understanding different dimensions very quickly.
Yeah. I also don't think
people have tried that.
Yeah, but I also think that they did it in a way that only it would make sense to in Spider-Man. Like, there's no way if you tried to do a multiverse movie and introduced, let's say, like 10 Tony Starks, it wouldn't have the same way that they did in Spider-Man. It wouldn't have ended well. Like, people would be fucking confused as all hell.
But yeah,
my only other question is, what's happening with the Skrull stuff? Is that going to lead anywhere? I know obviously that's going to lead into Captain Marvel 2.
Probably into Secret Invasion.
Yeah, I get confused between the difference between Secret Invasion and Secret Wars. Secret Wars is definitely something completely different. Am I right?
So yeah, Secret Invasion is the Skrulls coming to Earth.
Okay.
And in Secret Invasion canon, Skrulls are not good guys.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They are. It's like this rogue sect of Skrulls who think the Earth is theirs to take. So they start by replacing Marvel superheroes with Skrulls.
Okay.
And then use that to try to take over the Earth. And then obviously Avengers fight them, stop them.
Yeah.
Secret Wars is like all of the heroes and villains get taken to another realm, and like different pieces of our universe are taken there.
Okay.
And they fight.
Gotcha. Okay. So we want Secret Invasion, not Secret Wars.
Frankly, I want both.
I mean, yes, but
I
I think they'd have to like postpone like Secret Wars, even if like I don't think that's a Phase 4 thing. You know, introduce who you're going to introduce, and then we'll probably do that in Phase 5 or something.
Secret Wars honestly feels like the way you end a saga.
Yeah.
More than you end a phase.
Yeah. I agree.
By the way, this is just a non sequitur. I just remembered we're getting the Eternals this year, and I can't wait. I am so excited.
Oh my
God damn it.
I'm very
Yeah,
excited.
that's this year. I
November.
just want Black Widow, man.
We'll see.
Like Black Widow
May?
is supposed to come out. Yeah, but it's only supposed to be in
May.
theaters.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not putting it on Disney Plus. There's no way.
If they roll out these vaccines, and maybe, but at this point, who knows?
I say Biden had said, if I recall, he said by June, everybody should have a vaccine if they want one. And they'll probably push it to July.
Yeah, I know around here. Let's get down for a second. It was like my age bracket is not until July.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'll just chill. Not like I got anywhere to go.
Exactly.
I'll just go watch WandaVision again.
It's a good move. It puts you in a good mood.
It does.
My last question here is, are you guys excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier? Because that's already coming up next week.
That's coming up this week. This Friday.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's this Friday.
Shut up. It's
this Friday, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
a nice surprise.
Very nice surprise.
Yeah, it comes out in literally 4 days as of this
4
recording.
days. It's very exciting.
God.
Not even.
Amazing.
Here's the question, guys. I know I said I wouldn't do it. Do I stay up until midnight again?
You got to. Come on. Why not?
Yeah, you got to.
I just want a normal sleep schedule. Marvel is determined to make sure that I don't sleep again.
Listen, what my plan is for this weekend is to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier first, and then Justice League.
Oh.
Sleep for a week.
Yeah.
Skipping two days. You're going to wait 2 days before you see Snyder Cut, huh?
Yeah, because I have work at 8 a.m. unfortunately on Friday, so I kind of have to wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, we're getting Snyder Cut and the start of a new Marvel show in the same week.
it's phenomenal. What a time to
And
be
then like
alive.
later, then we get
real.
Invincible later. This is just, it's such
Oh
a
my
good time to
God.
be a comic book fan.
So excited for Invincible. Are you kidding me?
So wait,
My last...
are we
what?
excited for? Are we all excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Who isn't at this point? Come on.
Okay,
I'm
I
worried,
was just checking.
guys.
Why?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm worried because after WandaVision being so good, and I should say Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be amazing, but it's going to be totally different.
Yeah, it's gonna be action oriented.
Yeah.
Mhm. And I'm worried people are going to have their hopes up for something else, because like the ending of WandaVision really showed us that God, fandom gets out of control.
Oh yes, absolutely.
I'm like, just let us have this, and let us have this weird buddy cop Falcon Winter Soldier
Yeah.
dynamic that's going to be happening. Just let us enjoy that, please.
But
That's
I feel,
all I'm expecting.
I feel
Go
like this is different. There's not much suspense with
We don't know that.
Falcon and Winter. I'm assuming.
Fair.
Come on, Captain America said it himself. Falcon is taking over for him. You know.
I feel like we're still going to get like major cliffhangers at the end of episodes. I just don't think they're going to be in the same way.
Yeah, exactly. My point. Yeah. I exactly what you said.
I'm expecting just like a like thematically similar to like Winter Soldier.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. As we're closing out WandaVision thoughts, reviewed, etc. I don't. Where would you rate this among your like MCU headcanon?
Top 10.
You don't have to. You don't. Oh, you're gonna give a specific number.
Yeah, I'd probably
In your
have
top
to
10, huh?
Yeah, top 10, close to top 5.
Okay. Wow.
I think it's in my top 10 as well. It's definitely up there. Because WandaVision does the thing that I've been wanting Marvel to do for so long. They made a series that isn't action oriented,
Yeah.
and I want more of that. Like, not every movie needs to be an action movie in the Marvel universe.
Yep.
Like I've been saying for a little while, I want She-Hulk to be a political thriller. Like, give us weird.
Yeah.
Go different. Don't make us action flicks. And I love seeing that in WandaVision.
Yeah.
I wanted Ant-Man and the Wasp to be a rom-com.
It was so close to being a
It
rom-com.
was very close.
I
to
know.
me. I feel like Ant-Man and the Wasp let me down a little just because the villain wasn't as strong.
I think it let a lot of people down coming out, right?
Yeah.
Being one of the movies that came out between
Yeah.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
and
But
Endgame.
also, like, that ending was worth it.
No, for me, what made it worth it was seeing Paul Rudd as like a miniature person run through the elementary school.
That too.
Come on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. God, I love that movie.
Okay, top 5 and top 10. I like it.
What about you?
No, don't ask me. I refuse to answer that.
Okay.
I have a question for you.
Is it better than Thor: Dark World?
Okay, yes, probably.
Is it
It's
better than
Thor Ragnarok?
No,
Okay,
absolutely
so we're
not.
somewhere in between Thor: The Dark World and Thor Ragnarok.
Is it better
a good
than
thought to
Iron
me.
Man 3?
Ooh, that's a hard question. I love Iron Man 3. I have a soft spot for Iron Man 3. I think it's
Yes.
a very
Okay.
There's more of a
Yes, there is.
I would rate it as like on my Letterboxd at like a 3.5 out of 5 stars, which is good. It's very good for MCU. So in that realm is like Guardians of the Galaxy 1,
Okay.
and the Wasp.
All right, that's fair. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. We've already seen a few different like Marvel series right now as far as TV shows. Do you guys think this is the best?
No.
Daredevil for me.
Daredevil season 2.
For me, it's
Oh,
Jessica
so good.
Jones.
It's what?
Jessica Jones.
That's
I
fair.
really liked Jessica
Yeah,
Jones.
Jessica Jones was pretty good too. I feel like, but that's comparing apples to oranges, I think.
Selfishly, I really liked Cloak and Dagger as well, but I accept
didn't
that
watch
no one
Cloak and
watched Cloak and
I
Dagger.
didn't watch
It was-
Cloak and Dagger either. I watched the
Dude,
other
there's-
one.
Cloak and Dagger did that thing of like, you know how when there's like an establishing shot in a TV show and you're like, I recognize that place.
Mm-hmm.
They straight up, it's like it takes place in like New Orleans, and one of the establishing shots is Portland, and I'm like,
Oh,
oh, this is clearly Portland,
what was it supposed to be?
New Orleans somewhere.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No. That's awesome.
I love it when shows do that.
So I had. Can we go to the next segment, Christian?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, yeah, for
Okay.
sure. You're co-hosting too.
I have one question for you guys. Let's go into one thing. How do I put this? People were begging for Reed Richards to be introduced into this movie. Into the show.
Sure.
And I don't know. I didn't really see why he would have been introduced to this show. Into the show. I think. I guess this is a prediction for the future of MCU. I guess probably, yeah. Reed Richards is going to be introduced into Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Okay.
By
I was thinking something similar. Yes.
the
You have
Avengers.
so many theories around No Way Home.
Listen, man, it's gonna pay off.
They can't put this much in a movie, Ruben.
Listen. I don't know if you know this, Griffin, but you know I've actually worked on No Way Home. But we'll save that for another conversation. Yes,
God,
I
you're
think
the Larry David of the penultimate conquest, man.
I take that as a compliment. That's my idol
Yeah, you
right
should.
there.
You should.
Is that a compliment, though?
That is a compliment. That's my idol. Yeah, I think it's not going to be like flashy. It's just going to be like you see him and it's a one shot. It's a one shot. Like you don't really notice it's him. They kind of played off Far From Home when they were swinging at the end. They were counting it down, counting it up, 1, 2, 3, and then there was a question mark for 4 because John Watts is directing Fantastic Four. So why wouldn't John Watts be introducing Reed Richards into the MCU in No Way Home? It just makes sense, guys. It just makes sense.
I'm kind of with you. I
I
wanna
fully agree with you that he's going to be there.
He's buying the Avengers Tower, and it's
My
gonna be
current
back
theory is that the Fantastic Four is going to like kind of like pop up in the background of shit for a little while,
Could you imagine if they were in Endgame?
and they'll probably retcon it to be like, oh, they've been around the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're definitely sword agents. They're definitely going to be sword agents.
Huh.
I will
That'd be
swear by
interesting.
that
Okay.
and eat my shoe when I'm wrong. I'm actually going to eat my shoe. No one,
It's too late.
please,
No,
one
it's
ask
too
me.
late. I'm clipping that out, and I'm going to hold you to it.
God.
Twitch.tv/GriffyDpad. I'm eating my shoe.
Eating my shoe because I was an idiot. I'm sorry.
My last theory that I'm kind of like hoping is the case, and I know there was some scuttlebutt around Twitter about this, is that Rambo is going to be our first mutant.
Yeah,
which they kind of hinted at, I think, in WandaVision.
Absolutely.
Whether that was intentional or not, it can totally be just that's not the case at all.
Yeah.
But I like to think there's a chance.
Well, I mean, it just makes sense that she is technically the first mutant because her DNA was mutated. So
Two of the three superheroes in this show were like people who had latent powers that were mutated into having their full powers. Like,
yeah, but I don't really think, did she really have latent powers, Monica Rambeau?
I mean, she has the power of being a main character in the MCU.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair.
That's a fair argument. Yeah.
It's also there's no one saying it one way or the other, so it could really go either way.
Okay. Griffin?
And
Oh, go ahead.
no, please.
Well, I was just going to ask Griffin if he had any more MCU theories.
I have plenty of MCU theories. I stand by my Young Avengers theory.
I want that.
All of this is going to lead eventually to the Young Avengers fighting Kang. Because just looking at what we're getting, I've screamed about this a ton. Like, we're getting Cassie Lang eventually. We have the twins. Ironheart's being set up. Iron Lad could even show up, which is, Iron Lad literally didn't show up until the Young Avengers existed, so that'd be fine. I think we're going to get Young Avengers at some point, and I think we're going to get it in such a way where we can transition this universe so it doesn't have to be these Avengers that we know the whole time. Like, Robert Downey and Chris Evans are out, and they're probably off. Out.
Yeah.
They're out. But they're probably very much enjoying whatever break they're getting. Like, being in these movies is hard freaking work.
Oh, yeah.
And like no one's gonna be around it forever. That was something like Chris Evans talked about a ton when he wanted to be done. So being able to set things up for the next generation of heroes and MCU is kind of what I think they're going to be doing here.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Because I want that. I think that'd be really cool to see.
I mean, we're getting Miss Marvel next.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited for that. You guys can't tell because it's super blurry, but every single Miss Marvel comic book is on that shelf.
I'll take your word for it.
I love Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel is pretty.
When is her? She's getting her own show. Is that correct?
Yeah. December. Comes out in December.
This year?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Fuck me up, Marvel.
Yeah, we're getting WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, Miss Marvel, Loki, and What If this year.
I can't wait for What If. I'm very interested. Yeah, that's gonna be great.
So exciting.
Guys, any closing thoughts on WandaVision or anything else Marvel related?
Yeah, I'm gonna email the Oscars today and be like, listen, Elizabeth Olsen,
you snubbed them.
Catherine Hahn, what the fuck? Like, you had one job,
I respect that. Griffin?
Marvel's cool. WandaVision is cool. I love this shit, man.
Great stuff. I'm excited for next week.
Yeah, we're back in the full swing of Marvel content, which is going to be pretty much almost year round now.
It's a nice feeling being able to see that Marvel logo so often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. There was a theory. Wasn't a theory. Sorry. Somebody had said that Deadpool should take over for the Stan Lee cameos and just put up missing posters of Stan Lee.
That would be great.
That would be perfect. Yeah.
Oh my God, if that starts at No Way Home. Oh no, I'm becoming
Oh my God.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today on our Marvel Mondays initiative. Stay tuned. We've got some more shows for you this week. No Attack on Titan tomorrow. Unfortunately, that was canceled this week. Yeah. So we're going to do a double episode, I think, next Tuesday. Of course, we're doing Falcon and Winter Soldier on Monday. More info. I'm going to pass the mic over to Ruben for more info on that.
Yes. Next week we start our new show on Monday, and that show is the Marvel Mondays Initiative. I'm very excited for that. Christian, Eric, and I will be hosting revolving chairs, so it'll be probably 2 people 1 week, and then next week it'll switch up. This week we are also doing a Penultimate Conquest podcast episode on Bethesda and Microsoft acquisition being finalized and Pokemon news, which Ryan is hosting. So be excited for that too. Yeah. And we're also doing some more streaming this week, Apex and Warzone. So let's get it. All right.
Let's do some plugs here. Griffin, where can people find you, buddy?
Okay, you can find me on Twitter at GriffyDpad. That's GriffIDPAD. Also on Twitch at twitch.tv/GriffyDpad. Or you can check out my weekly Disney Plus podcast, Disney Plus Us, on podcast services around the globe. If you listen to this, the newest episode is out, and it's about Raya and the Last Dragon and whether or not you should spend $30 on it.
Great film.
That's pricey.
Yeah. I thought it was worth it.
I did too. Spoiler alert. Raya was an amazing movie.
Agreed. Ruben, where can people find you?
People could find me here every Monday through Wednesday, sometimes, most of the time. You could find me on Twitch at... Oh, well, actually, no, you can't find me on Twitch. You could find me on Twitter at That Guy Tuesday. You could find the channel's Twitter at Pen Conquest. You could find us on YouTube, The Penultimate Conquest. You can find us on our website, thepenultimateconquest.com, where we upload each video the next day, 8 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Christian, where can people find you?
Well, hold on. You are on Twitch with the Penultimate Conquest Twitch channel.
Yeah,
and
that's really the channel's channel, you know?
You got to plug that. We're on the road to affiliate, trying to get to 100 follows as well.
That's right.
So give us a follow there. Why not?
Please do.
Let's do it.
It's really appreciated.
Yes. You can find me on Twitter at IsoChristian, tweeting about random things, anime, cutting my hair soon and dyeing my hair, just like Itadori Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen, because we reached 50 followers on Twitch, so stay tuned for that. And you can also follow my movie podcast at Large Popcorn for all things movie. We're having Twitch streamer Islam Dubai on the show next week.
Whoa.
For a very cool episode. I love that man. I love him so much.
He's too fancy for me. In a good way, if that makes sense.
Oh, man. Close us out, Ruben.
All right.